Welcome back. Yes, this is still Good Morning Abuja and NTH and F5, the Unity Station. This time we have our first guest in the house. We have Dr. Moses Etila Shuaib. He's going to be talking to us about Nigeria's political stability and economic development, the way forward. Please join us as we welcome him.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
Welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning, welcome. It's a pleasure meeting.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
All right. Then. Okay. So we are looking at just like Nigeria's political stability, political stability and economic development, the way forward, just like the question. So let's start from there.
Yes. Actually, there is a big nexus between political stability and economic
development.
And in less than 10 days from now, we are going to mark the 1-year anniversary of this present administration.
Okay.
And between 1999 and now, we have unbroken democratic experiment. At least for 25 years, we have, to some extent, a stable political transition. Unlike in some other African countries that are witnessing one level of growth or the other, we have had election, change of leadership, change of political parties in terms of both national and subnational level. To that extent, we can say that there is a measure of political stability compared to where we are coming from since 1960, after the independence. In that way, there is some relative stability in terms of change of leadership. But linking it with economic development, this stability, relative stability, how does it put food on the table of the common man called Nigeria? How are we faring in the committee of nations? We call ourselves giant of Africa.
Yeah.
Is that giant a reflection of what we are doing? God has so much blessed us with abundant human and material resources. In the whole world, we have what we call about 34 solid minerals that any nation that has one can become an economic giant.
Wow.
And in Nigeria, we have about 31 of them in this country.
So
that means we should be celebrating.
Yeah. But we are not celebrating.
But there is, at the other side, the economic stability, economic development has not been translated to meet the needs and the aspiration of Nigeria. And this is the missing gap. So our leaders are there, we have changed banking and all the rest, and has it translated. At least the greatest shock last week was when the federal government was placing 48,000 naira as minimum wage. To buy what? To buy tomato or egusi or tatas. These are critical issues.
Yes.
Then compared to what the political class are taking. It's only in Nigeria that politics is more lucrative than an entrepreneur. The easiest way to become a millionaire is to win a political post. And that is why election has become a do or die affair in Nigeria. The entrepreneur that invests his capital at every level cannot be there. And that is why many of us are feeling that the 25 years has not translated to meet the needs and aspiration of the common man. Yeah. And the middle class is gradually being eroded. Between three of us, how many of us can put a car on the road for a whole month? You spend an average of 20,000 to fuel your car in a week. Then that will translate to about 80,000
in a month.
Then times 12 months. That means on fueling alone for coming to office and going outside church, market,
almost
traveling,
900
almost 900 something thousand naira. Then how much is your salary? Because the day you take your salary, as me as a Christian, it's your saddest day. If you are not careful, you may not talk about your tithe. You say tithe should wait, God understand. Because of the challenges. And that is why we are concerned that there should be the political stability should have its road into economic development.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Dr. Moses, it's going to be 1 year as you rightly mentioned in a couple of days' time since this present government was inaugurated. Uh, in your opinion, how would you rate what they have done so far in terms of policies and reforms?
Yes,
Are they doing well?
the president hit the ground running,
Okay.
and everybody appreciated. They boasted that statement, subsidy is gone. We accepted it with an open hand. But one thing is for subsidy to go, but the second thing, what strategies do you lay aside to manage the removal of the subsidy? And I think that is the dividing line. It was as if, yes, all the four major political parties in the last election talk about removal of subsidy. But there's supposed to be a framework that after you have removed it, what next? And I think this is where we got it wrong. And oil in Nigeria is whatever touches oil affects every sector of the economy. You know, the policies the government came up with, to some extent, they are okay. The student loan scheme is a good policy in name, but what are the implementation? The scholarship scheme that is meant for the common man like me and you. I remember at the age of 23, I finished my master program from a very poor background. But the saving grace for the scholarship. But today, the same scholarship goes to the children of the rich men. You know, the scholarship student loan scheme is a good thing. The economic policies put in place are okay. But at the heart of what the refinery repairs and all these things, they are okay. But for how long do we continue repairing refineries that have been on ground for about 50 years? What caused us from not establishing new ones? Where countries like other oil producing countries, every state capital has their own refinery, so that there's no trailer moving or falling down and all the rest. Even the oil we are celebrating, are we producing to meet the capacity? I was shocked yesterday when they said Dangote is going to import crude oil from America to feed into his own company that has not even started. And we are major oil producer in the country. So the policies are okay. But one thing is, most of the places like the pastor say, do as I say, but don't do as I do.
Okay. Now, let's...
So if we are able to implement it, yes, like not talk about salary increase is a good thing. But we are now calling labor and saying that is 48,000 naira. Something that is not enough.
To even buy a bag of rice.
Half bag. Even Nigerian rice is almost 90,000 naira, 50 kg. Wow. So if you want to do something, let's show that seriousness on the part, so that we should not take our people for granted. We cannot continue this way. Nigerians are people who are committed to their leaders. Once you give them good leadership, they will follow. But when there is this thing you are playing over their physique, they will not take it, and we cannot continue this way.
Okay, let's look at your assessment of. We know government has been making efforts. You know, at least may not be good enough, but at least they are trying.
Yes.
So let's look at your assessment of the efforts in tackling some of these challenges that is so obvious. You know.
Yes, you know, Rome is not built in a day, and President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is not a magician. We should not expect you to come under this one here and turn things around. Some of these problems are on ground. She came to meet it, and it was part of them. They have been together in government. So he has tried to some extent, like the issue of corruption, which we have increased the 10 commandments by one verse. He said, "Oh, thou shalt not steal." The line that thou shalt not be caught. So that means stealing is legalized.
That shall not be caught.
It's only when you are caught that you become an thief. You become an offense. And even if you are caught without brand, your money and your lawyer, you can still get your way out. Right. So to that extent, the government policies are okay. But these things, he cannot be alone. He must have people around him who are committed. Right. Because the cost of governance is increasing on daily basis. And this is where the money is going to. We need that commitment from our leaders. We have been sacrificing. Is it the follower that continue to sacrifice. Yes, there was the policy of reducing people traveling with the president are okay.
Yeah.
But the real issue is the cost of governance.
All right.
What the senators, rep, ministers, all this SA, you have ministers with SA, SSA1, SSA2, doing nothing. This is where the resources.
We need to go for a break.
So when those things are addressed, I believe the government is trying.
Yeah.
And we are ready to support.
Okay. Okay. On that note, we need to go for a break right now.
I was going to address issues of corruption. I was going to ask Doctor here to talk about corruption, but let's quickly take this break. When we come back, we will ask more questions and get the response of Doctor. Welcome back. The program is still Good Morning Abuja, and the studio here is electrified. We've been getting this classic classroom approach to issues from Dr. Moses here in the studio, and we're talking Nigeria, we're talking the political and economic stability of Nigeria. But very quickly, still on corruption, Doctor, the bane of Nigeria's economic woes, or whatever we are going to say is responsible for the economic downpour or hardship that we experience in this country is corruption. Now we have institutions of corruption who are supposed to fight corruption, who are supposed to try corrupt people or bring them to justice. And then we have a situation where there are people who are in government who are even deliberately thwarting these institutions from working, as is the case in Kogi recently when the EFCC wanted to pick the governor, the former governor, and the present governor had to use his influence to try to get the former governor to evade justice. Some of these and many other, as well as cases of bribery to judges for cases to be stretched over a long period of time, seem to be telling hard now because the prices of commodities in the market is crazy. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yes, we have to first agree that corruption exists everywhere.
Very true.
It's not peculiar to Nigeria. Even in developed economy, look at the charges Donald Trump was facing. But the situation, what is so painful in Nigeria is, if we can reduce corruption by just 5% in this country, considering the resources in this country, there will be an eldorado for everybody. But the issue here is, like mentioned the case of Kogi, it's very unfortunate. When Bello Cohen said the lion of Africa, we felt that by the time he finished, just like Fayoshi, he should be able to walk his way to the FCC and have nothing to hide. But the issue here is he who pays the piper must pay the tune. We all know how to do a match. And at the end of the day, Dodo has to protect the person who put in there. And it's not supposed to be. The institution of corruption put in place, how independent are they? Because someone appointed them to be there. At the end of the day, at a point, they say that the fear of being a member of APC is the beginning of wisdom. So the moment you change party ownership, all your sins are forgiven. And that is the challenge. And because when you talk about the shock, it's not just at the level of leadership. Even we, the followers, are part of it. Because by the time you become ordinary chairman of a local government, which is the least level in governance, and after 3-4 months, you have not built house in your village, they will call you useless person. All the churches, the mosques, naming ceremony, burial, you become the chief marshal. How much is your salary? I think this is where the issue is. There is no contentment. And everybody wants to be there at the same time. At times people say President Tinubu should call this governor to order, should call a EFCC to order. What of you who are the followers? The resources that has passed through the hand of governors from Buhari time up till now, no governor in this country has gotten those resources. But what did you see from it at the end of the day? Either the pressure is on the central government. So it's very unfortunate. And this is why we need to go back to the drawing board.
Well,
Wow.
wonderful.
Thank
Very,
you.
very
Don't
interesting.
tie
Well,
yourself to
yes,
become figure eight.
yes. In fact, government should not also grow
Hmm.
too fat and shapeless
Yeah,
that
honestly.
they become like an amoeba. Yes, we've been discussing Nigerian political stability and vis-a-vis the economic stability of Nigeria. And Dr. Moses here has been telling us, sharing his thoughts with us on the problems and what we can do. He has also said kudos to Tinubu for the reforms he has introduced so far as we count down to the 1 year inauguration of the Tinubu-led government. And we hope that before the end of this year, perhaps some of
Honestly.
those things will
Things,
materialize to
yes,
make things better.
yes.
We'll go on a short break now. When we come back, the program continues. But first, thank you so much,
Thank you
Doctor,
so
for
much.
coming.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure
And
meeting you.
thank you. And please keep talking because all hands must be on deck. It's because we love our country.
Country.
That's where we're discussing what we're discussing today. So
Yes.
thank you so much.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
So the program, Good Morning Abuja, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue.